Okay, cool. Looks like we're live yet again. All right. This one was without warning, so we're just going straight live today. As always, I'm just going to drop a quick link so that anyone who wants to catch the stream can catch the stream. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well today. You know, watching this back if you're watching the recording. I'm trying to keep this kind of setup phase shorter. Boom, there we go. Instant. All right, it's on the story. Wow, look at that. So much cleaner than last time. I gotta actually just get things set up properly, I swear. But yeah, soon we'll have a lot more infrastructure and stuff. So today's exciting. Well, first of all, hello. My name is Gabriel Quinn. I'm an illustrator and concept artist. I do work in games and animation. And also, a lot for myself. I do a lot of art just for me, And I love sharing what I know about narrative, about design. I love sharing my passions around narrative and design because you don't have to be a 100% expert to be able to share something beautiful. So yeah, let's go. Today we're going to be working on the mascots for my Patreon tiers, actually. So I finally made a way for anybody who wants to support the live streams can. It is not obligatory, and the live streams are going to continue to be free. They're going to continue to be frequent, and I will continue to answer questions in the chat and do everything I've been doing so far, exploring ideas. But one thing that'll be fun about the Patreon is that it'll be linked to a Discord, which will be a pretty fun community where there's going to be regular studio hours and stuff. It'll be really exciting, but more on that later. For now, let's look at the first tier kind of mascots that I'm doing. So the first tier is the Scout tier. I launched with just one tier, and the Scout tier is just $3. It's just $3. Pretty simple, nothing too crazy. Less than a coffee these days. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy how however many years ago it was shoot me a couple bucks for a coffee, and now it's $3 is yeah, get me half a coffee. It's crazy. I mean, I live in New York, so but yeah, if anyone's curious about the Patreon, definitely check it out in the oh, look, it's open right here. Cool. Yeah, you can check it out in the description below, which will be hype. Super hype. Nice. Yeah, and welcome to anybody who's joining back. So the fun part, or what I'm excited about, is I want to do eventually when I do different tiers or whatever, I'll have different characters, but to start, I want the first to be a Scout tier. So the idea is you're on an adventure, you're an adventuring person, you've got your bow and arrow, you got your knife, you got your staff, maybe your friend that's a bird, your binoculars, you're going on an adventure. It's you're setting out, you're in the wild, right? Because being an artist and developing your skills as an artist is very much in that world. So I figured, why not on the day that I soft launched the Patreon, why not talk about the Patreon mascots or kind of develop them. Further along, I want to do different tiers. So I have it's kind of mage tier, mage and warrior tier. And this is based on me and my girlfriend, which is kind of cheeky. But this one will be pretty fun. So it'll be like a mage and a warrior kind of facing off in the darkness. And I don't know, maybe I'll do that when I start offering personal feedback or something. But for now, that's what we're focusing on. Did some other iterations that I was kind of trying out for that. But yeah, just having a ton of fun with it. Just an absolute ton of fun. Yeah, making sure that we have a great cast of characters, And I want to kind of have pairings for each tier if I can help it, But yeah, so this is pretty cool. It's pretty fun. So I was thinking we could develop these guys or push them forward or go from there. Another thing that I was working on is, you can see how organized I am. I do the thumbnails right before I start. But yeah, another thing that I was working on was actually from the last stream, our wizard guy here. We had a lot of fun designing this guy. This guy was really fun to design. I threw together a super quick composition for like a potential poster for him. I made him kind of dark or whatever, but I started with this sketch just to kind of like, you know, get a more intimate view of this character, who he would be. This Phoenix Mage, I'm calling him, like the jeweled Phoenix Mage or something, you know? But yeah, checking down some colors. Boom, baby. Just super fast, like super, super fast. Nothing too crazy. But with that beautiful, juicy coral red, vibrant coral red. Yeah, the composition idea is that he's like has this magical egg and like the molten yolk is being cracked. And I'm thinking like it's a phoenix egg or something cool. I don't know. Oh my gosh, wait. Okay, cool. I thought I had the settings messed up or something. But yeah. Cool. So I did that. That was like a fun update. So we could work on that later if we get tired of our scout guys. But yeah, just a lot of fun. I was thinking for rendering just like pretty simple black line, like nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Could also duplicate it over so we have another copy just in case. And the stylization just like really simple because it's going to be super small on the website. So we don't want it to be huge. And like almost storybookish. Oh, HG's in the chat. What up, buddy? Welcome. And Andrew Larkin. Nice. Got some of the regulars. And Mojo. Oh my gosh, all at once. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the chat. We're we're kind of soft launching the Patreon, I guess. Nothing too crazy. I mean, you know, I've kind of tried out streaming. I really like it. I want to continue. So yeah, we're launching. Absolutely no pressure. We're just having fun here. But yeah, so I'm working on some mascots, and I've done these two kind of scout characters, which are fun, and they're going on an adventure, or they're on an adventure. Who knows, you know? So we're just kind of finishing these guys up today. Nothing too crazy. You know, we're not doing anything too high res or too fancy. You know, we're just kind of letting it be what it is. Looking sick. I like the hair shapes. Yeah, dude, we gotta have the hair shapes. You know me. Hair is like, I go bonkers with the hair. Always. I can't hold back ever. Sometimes I can, but a lot of the times I don't. But yeah, we want these characters to feel young, not too young, but still young enough. Because the idea behind these mascots is that it's like it's young in spirit, you know? It's like you're young on your journey. It's the vibe we're going for. Big wide smile. Determined. These characters are determined. They're brave and they're happy. In the springtime of their journey. Heck yeah. Yeah, and like the Patreon, the benefits, everything like that. I definitely want to, before I do any more tiers or augment or change anything, I just kind of want to consult with the community too. Make sure that like everyone feels like they're able to support in a way that's like meaningful and that has like a positive impact on their lives as well. Like we want reciprocity as much as possible. Nice. Give him like a cool arm patch or something. It's like a leaf on it. We love iconography. Iconography is cool. I remember when I was in school learning about like different forms of design, like and like subway station designs even. Like that's a whole thing. Oh my gosh, wait, my worm light isn't on. Wah, there we go. Illumined. Nice. Oh, Nab says, finally able to catch your stream again. Hello, everybody, dude. Hello, Nabs. Welcome. Also, Mojo says, new profile pic. This is crazy. I know. It's happening. Wait, I got to update it on Instagram, too, actually. Maybe I do that now. Do I do that now? Maybe I do. Before I forget. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing the new profile picture. It, like, took a long time for me to settle on an idea. Because the old profile picture, like, was definitely in kind of my, I was like just starting to do, you know, really try hard in social media and stuff. And I was really trying to, I don't know, cultivate like a certain, not persona, but I was trying to cultivate a certain feeling, I guess. I don't know. It was a strange time. Strange time for sure. All right, let's do it. Let's do new profile image. Yeah. Oh, man. I love airdrops so much. Airdrop is the best. Sick. So yeah, these guys are cool. Like the idea is like maybe eventually she'll do magic. Maybe eventually he'll become like a cool, like a warrior or something. Like we don't know, you know? But for now, pretty darn fun. You know, maybe we'll see these characters again in the future. Who knows? But they're young on their journey. They're still apprentices. Got his cool binoculars. Giving a character binoculars is great because it like adds a lot of purpose, adds a lot of cool, like just cool vibes, man. If nothing else, cool vibes. We could even make the binoculars bigger. There's a benefit of doing like a loose undersketch. You can just kind of make things big if you wish. Yeah, welcome to today's stream, guys. Such a great week. Life is so good, man. Gosh, we are so fortunate to be living in a time where we can just like share the joy of art with people. That's so cool. So cool. Zoom out, make sure it reads. That's reading, right? Yeah, that's reading. Nice. I guess we put both hands on the binoculars now that they're bigger, right? Yeah. Yeah, also, same as always, if anyone has any design questions, art questions, life questions, feel free to toss them in the chat. Also, no pressure. You're allowed to just lurk and hang out while I draw these guys. We're letting it be a little bit janky, because letting things be janky with these kind of drawings is fun. Like, it's almost part of the design. Letting it be loose, creative, not so tight. We talked about like groundedness in some past streams, and it's cool to sometimes understand when it's better to be a little ungrounded in your design. Cool. Cool. Alrighty. Okay, HG says, did you have a specific time period? Do you think of a specific time period or even world where these two live in? Actually, yes. That's a great question. Oh my gosh, Luke. Luke, the featured stream guest, is in the chat, guys. Let's go. We'll have Luke on again soon. We got to finish those keyframes for Benny's Kitchen, buddy. We got to do it. Luke and I worked on some story beats and some ideas for the Dragon Kitchen idea, which we're definitely going to return to and finish because it'll be really fun. Wow. It's true. We do got it. Yeah, we do. But yeah, do I think of a specific time period? I do. I 100% do, because adding in technology like binoculars instantly affects the time period in which these characters live, right? So when were binoculars invented? Let's do some research. It says 1608. Wait, no. No, that's not true. Jonathan Friedrich Voigtlander is credited with the first invention of the binoculars in 1823. So we're thinking 1800s here. So this is kind of like, an era of like swashbuckling pirates. People are at sea. Maybe people are like trying out a hot air balloon. Maybe there are guns sometimes. That's the kind of time period that we can extrapolate out of just one prop, giving one character a prop. But we've also kind of given him like a little arm patch, and their outfits aren't necessarily like dated very strongly. So it's like, it's still open too. So we've left a room for whimsy. But I'm imagining even in this world, like, I don't know, maybe you'd see a character on a bicycle and it wouldn't be weird. you know? Like that's the kind of feeling that we're going for here. Sick. Yeah, but props have implications. I mean, we talked about on one stream like how giving a guy a sword changes the meaning. And what kind of sword and why. So we talked a lot about that on one of the streams. So it's like that also implies time period too. But we've given this character like a bow and arrow, right? This could be the Americas. Oh, it could totally be the Americas. Totally. Could totally be like an alternative history America's Adventure. Also, my beloved neighbors, whom we love and adore, are, I think, vacuuming right now. So if you hear the sound, like a hissing sound in the background, I sincerely apologize. HG says, I like that. A lot of room for creative freedom while still grounding it. Exactly. That's what we want, right? Because you want to set rules. Because then, you know, if we do like... Because, for instance, if we have these two characters and they look like this... And then we have like behind them like, oh, but they ride in this like spaceship here, and the spaceship has like a weird cockpit, and this is behind them, and they're in a spaceship, and it has big engines. Like all of a sudden, it's a sci-fi story, and everything's sci-fi, right? But right now, you know, they're just a couple adventurers. But the outfit is kind of modern. It's got a strangely modern feel. So that's the kind of vibe we're going for. We're going for like a strange amalgamation of modern retro aesthetics. Get you a design that can do both, you know? Give him a cool bow. Give him some cool arrows. Boom. Mojo says, like a culture that advanced quickly, but it's set in the past or something. Yeah, exactly. You know, like history is so affected by just like the silly little guys and gals who were just like, you know, I'm going to do a bunch of weird stuff and accidentally come up with gunpowder. And then another guy who's like, I'm going to put all this gunpowder in a tube and put a thing at the other end of the tube, and I'm going to explode the gunpowder and see what happens. It's like, now you got guns, dude. And then guns shape the world, you know? It was just, you know, the silly little guys and gals. Or a couple of brothers who are like, I want to go up really high right now. Figuring all that stuff out, man. Imagine figuring out how to fly and no one's ever done it before. Think about that, man. You can't. I remember being a kid and making like a Brazilian paper airplanes. Like a quadrillion paper airplanes. And like some I followed guides, right? Because I was like, okay, this obviously works. I'm going to try this. And some I just invented myself. And it was fun because I would try stuff out and it just wouldn't work. because no lift, no aerodynamics, you know? But then once in a while, like one of my janky designs would do something really weird. Like it would like go and then dip and then just like go for like a mile. And I remember the excitement of figuring that out, like figuring out what works, like really what works in reality. I lived in the vineyards of California for a while, and I had literally nothing to do. Like literally, all I did was draw and make paper airplanes and run around with knives and bow and arrow. And I had like a janky dirt bike. So I was like in a janky dirt bike, zooming around, carving stuff with my weird knife. And like being a little guy, being a silly little guy. Andrew says fireworks came first. Yeah, exactly. You know, for entertainment. First entertainment, next war. Myth Conception says, sounds like the dream to me. Yeah, it was, you know, it was interesting, man. It was interesting. Neither here nor there. I'll say that. Sometimes I definitely miss the freedom. Just being able to zoom away. It was nice having that agency when I was young, just to be able to like hop on a little dirt bike and ride away. Like let's draw a little Gabriel here. It was like, when I say weird, it was like weird. It was like a little bike. It was like, I had like this little seat. I had like a little handlebar. It wasn't like aerodynamic at all. It'd be like me on it. You know? With my long hair. I had long hair when I was a kid. I had very long hair. It was like, it was like me on this little bike in the vineyards. So it'd be like, you know, grapevines all behind me. And I'd be like going through the vineyard. So it'd be like through the lattice of a vineyard. It's little Gabriel. Lie, an off-road moped. I don't even know, man. I don't even know what it was, but it was kind of janky, and it like belonged to one of our neighbors. And I remember my dad, I don't know how he convinced my mom, but he was like, oh, you know, like they're getting rid of it. They're trying to sell it. You know, like, let's get it for Gabriel or whatever. And I remember one day they like kind of rolled it out. I think it was on a birthday or something. And like they rolled it out and they were like, look at the dirt bike. And I was like, what? It was hype. I was very hype. I can tell you that much. Oh, man. Yeah, that was definitely one of the cooler times of my life for sure. Do you guys remember when YouTubers used to do the whole like draw my life thing? Do you guys remember that? Whatever happened to that? That was like a cool trend. Maybe I'll do an artist draw my life one of these days. Just learn about all the weird stuff that happened in my life. Who wouldn't be hyped for a cool dirt bike? That's true. That's very true. What young lad would not be hyped? It was great because I felt very vindicated because like I would have neighbors with like, you know, those like little electric cars, the little like the little ones for kids. I would see them and I would be like so envious, dude. I'd be like, I want to go fast, but I couldn't because, you know, ripperoni. We didn't have any money, you know. If you live like in the vineyards of California, it's like, I don't know, man. You're down bad. So but I remember getting this jank dirt bike. It was so dangerous. I did not wear a helmet or anything, man. But I never crashed or anything, so I don't know. Myth Conception said, I would definitely feel more comfortable on a dirt bike in the country more than a motorcycle in the city. That's true. That's very, very true. Man. When I lived back in Bermuda last year and, past few years before, like full time, I lived there for a while, but everybody has a bike there. So I had a motorbike as well in Bermuda. And man, it's like so dangerous. Even in Bermuda, a tiny island where the speed limit is 35 kilometers or whatever. But nobody goes 35. Everybody goes like 50, 60 on these tiny roads, which doesn't sound fast, but you hit an oncoming car, opposite direction, bam. And I worked in a fine dining restaurant for a lot of it. So like when I was working in this restaurant, while I was honing my art skills, I would drive home like 1 a.m. after like a crazy shift, and I'd be going around these blind corners, right? And the thing is that I knew I had this like sixth sense of like hug the wall as close as possible, because I'm on the left side and I'm turning left, so I'm like hug the wall as close as possible. And I would hug the wall and go around this corner, and right as I'm going around this corner, these like SUVs would whip around in the middle of the road. And if I was close to the line, like I would have died. Like literally I would have died 100%. And there's so many of those times where I was like on those blind corners and I would just like have to hug those walls, because I just knew there would be these dumb drunk drivers who would be just like ripping it home after a night out or whatever. And it's just like not chill summer vibes, I'll tell you that much. So I had to really keep the guard up. Mojo says, I've been to Bermuda. Those roads are crazy. Oh, you've been to Bermuda. Nice. My home, my people. Yeah, Bermuda's cool. I have a love-hate relationship with Bermuda, but it's mostly love, especially now that I've gotten some distance. It's mostly love for sure. People there are incredible. The bigger the car, the more rights to the road you have, right? Yeah, that's how they act, man. Because the thing is that like Bermuda was not built for those cars, for big cars. Bermuda roads were built for horse and buggies, and then they brought cars in, and then for a while they had tiny cars in Bermuda, and then after that it was like all like American culture has really annihilated Bermuda in many ways. So like, they brought the big cars, the big SUVs, and then, all the expats come to Bermuda. So like American workers or other workers from, overseas, and, like no hate to any one individual, but it's like they want their big cars because they're in a new place. Their company's paying for their house. Their company's paying for everything. The company's paying for the car. So they want their big SUV car like they had in America. So then Bermuda is just filled with these giant cars that literally don't fit on the roads. And it's just like, man, there's like many deaths every year of like people on bikes being stupid and speeding and dying or getting hit by cars that are, drunk drivers and stuff. And she says, driving that fast alone is dumb, but at night and drunk, holy heck. Yeah, exactly. It's just not the move, man. Me personally, I don't drink. So like I have a hard time rationalizing, some of those decisions that people make, It's like, it's a bit much, man. It's a little bit much. A little bit much. It's a vicious cycle. Yeah, it is. It is a vicious cycle. A vicious motorcycle. Got him. Nah, but it really is. Yeah, Bermuda's a very unique place. For work right now, I'm on a comic brief, designing a comic, and it's very much steeped in Bermudian history specifically. So I'm learning a lot about Bermuda through this project, and it's just really interesting seeing, what we've gained and also what we've lost. Like a lot of like culture that we've lost over the years, like delusion and westernization and all that stuff. I mean, it was always a Western place. It was a British colony, but still. I mean, it's a British overseas territory now. Cool. My girlfriend is in the chat. Let's go. Well, she's like watching. She's not in the chat. She can't access it on her device. But actually, while she's watching, so have multiple tiers for the Patreon that I'm designing. This is one of them, little scout guys. But one I'm doing based on me and my girlfriend, where it's like she's like a mage and I'm like a warrior. She's got like a big book and I've got like a sword. So like this one will be fun to design too. But I don't know what that perk is the Patreon perk is going to be for that. I don't know. So we'll see. We shall see. That was funny. It's a vicious cycle. Oh, I have to figure out what time dinner is tonight. Oh, she's getting hyped. She sees it. Cool. Mission accomplished. Cool. Cool. All right. Also, so I'm going to be ending the stream probably in about an hour and a half, maybe. So we'll see. And then after that, I'm going to be hopping on the Discord and hanging out there for a little bit. So right now it's like empty because I'm launching it today. But in the future, after streams, I'll be hopping in the Discord to hang out for a little bit with everybody. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I've got time. Augustin Mantello says, "Hello, Gabe. Nice to catch you live. How's it going, buddy?" It's going really well. Life is really good right now, man. I'm like in a really good place. How about you? How you doing? Discord is launching today? Luke asks. Yes. Oh, Mojo says, so the Patreon grants access to Discord currently, or were you planning on changing it? Currently, it does grant access to the Discord. So I actually consulted with a lot of the viewers and people in general, and it seemed like people actually wanted a more intimate Discord space. So I am making it like a Patreon perk. It took me a long time to figure it out and like pricing and stuff, but to get access to the Discord, and also, which is going to be a lot of stuff in the Discord for sure. Oh, sick. Okay. that was fast. But yeah, so I'm going to be putting in like the Photoshop files as well from like all the streams. So you guys can like, literally have the Photoshop files to look through the layers and stuff. You want to poke around and see what things look like. And also I'm going to be like I'm going to be throwing my brushes in there, all that stuff. So like I will continue to add value, but some people expressed that they not only wanted a community, but wanted a way to support. And so there's the community, there's the way to support. And, it's going to be fun because there's going to be like regular studio hours. So I'm going to block out time where like I will be on there working, and we can all do co-working together and like learn together certain things. Like if I'm doing busy work, like building a ref board or doing anatomy studies or anything that I wouldn't do necessarily on stream, I'm going to be doing, or a lot of the time I could be doing it there, with the community, which would be nice. And then also we're going to be doing character design challenges. So like there's a fun 1 hour character design challenge that we could do. And I'm going to be hosting that probably a couple times a week, probably Wednesdays, Fridays. We'll see. we'll see how we do it. But yeah, eventually I'm going to launch a tier for the Patreon that allows for feedback. Right now, I'm not 100% sure how I want to structure it, so I haven't included it as an option. So we'll see. Mojo says, also, I appreciate the cost. Pretty generous because I'm a broke college student at the moment. Yeah, I wanted the cost to be as low as possible. Like, so... But without, you know, it's interesting because like you want to balance, because if you make it like too low, like it could get flooded and like, I don't know, we'll see. I really don't know. But because I'm putting a lot of effort into it, I didn't want to make it just like, you know, like $1, plus the fees on that are crazy. Like just having a $1 tier, like you're not really going to see much of it. Versus if you just raise it by a couple dollars, like there's something with the like tax information, I don't know. So, but yeah, 3. I wanted 3 because I'm thinking to myself like, okay, if someone's paying like $36, like over the course of a year, someone's paying like $36, right? That's 3 times 12, right? Yeah. Like if someone's paying $36 a year to be like in a community, in a space, like I think of that like you go into a cafe for the environment and you like buy a coffee and you sit down and you're like in that environment, helps you think, helps you process. Like that's what I want it to feel like. So if I broke that down for a year, it felt like just for me. It felt good. Like that felt like a good amount. After a lot of consultation too, I talked to a lot of people like who have run Patreons and stuff. So like, yeah, feels good, man. Also, this drawing's coming along really quick, which is nice. Who knows? I mean, whenever I do stuff like this, I always have like a million ideas. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, like what would these two do in a comic? You know, like what would happen in a comic with these two? Like what would go wrong? What would go well? Oh, also Augustin said, good to hear, doing great. Just getting ready to get some drawing done. Let's go. We want to get some drawing done. Let's go. Nice. And then Solo says, hi, Gabriel, are you offering mentorship? Because my current plan is changing on Fiverr. I don't even know if it's a good plan for character design. Is charging $5 on Fiverr. I don't even know if it's a good plan. Oh, interesting. For character design. Oh, so you're like taking a character design mentorship right now? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. But to answer the first question, if I'm offering mentorship, right now, I'm not offering mentorship. I need to consolidate and figure out if I actually have enough time to be able to effectively offer a mentorship that's like constructed right now. It would be very freeform if I did it right now. With the students I've taken in the past, I've like really consolidated some essential information and exercises down. So that'll be fun. But honestly, if you watch the stream, you're going to learn a lot about character design. And if you hang out on the Discord, you're going to learn a lot about character design. Taking you through the steps to become a competent character designer is a different thing. And I think that like I would definitely be down to do that in the future. But right now I got to like, you know, get it under control for me at least. Fantastic World says your line art is so satisfying. Thank you so much, Fantastic Worlds. Also, welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a good day, man. Yeah, these characters are fun. This is kind of like, honestly, this is kind of an OG style for me. It's like feeling very felt tip marker, which is very nostalgic. Which is cool. Yeah, also the Discord will be good because I'm going to set up like notifications so everyone in it gets pinged when I go live. And I'm also definitely going to do like Patreon only streams in the future. So I'll do like private streams, but that'll be like a later thing that I figure out, you know? But yeah, one of the benefits of joining now the Patreon community or the Discord community is you help me figure it out, you know? help me build it and grow it and kind of honestly let it be a little tailor made. So, oh, nice. We got a couple folks in the Discord now. Nice. All right. All right. So out of the 12 people viewing right now, we got a couple people in. So that's cool. That's really cool. That makes me really happy. Let's go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I still have to write the rules and do everything for the Discord, so it's gonna be a good vibe. Oh, Tarangini's in the chat. What up, Tarangini? Tarangini says, I like the new profile pic. Dude, thank you. I appreciate it. It was fun to do. I was back and forth on it for a very long time. We don't want to make this character too kind of unsure because they're like a scout, right? They're like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Boom, baby. Nice. That feels good. Glad I made it to the live stream finally. Yeah, me too. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Today I'm like soft launching the Patreon and like Patreon linked Discord community stuff. Yeah, I'm thinking about like the rules for the Discord. I'm thinking like it's going to be like one of the rules is going to be like no negative self-talk. So if you start like putting yourself down, you know, it will warrant a gentle reminder. It will not result in a ban, but a gentle reminder that, you know, you are a being of value and that your words have power, you know? Oh, hell yeah. Well, hey, you know, if you want to join the Patreon community and, you know, hop in that Discord, the link is in the description. That goes for everybody watching this back as a recording too. If you guys want to join, feel free. And I wanted it to feel like low cost enough that if you joined and didn't like it, like you know, it was, you know, it's like, it's okay. No need to stay. You know, no skin in the game. Nice. Oh, cool. All right. I'm seeing like a couple people hop into the Discord. I'm like getting like live updates for it too, which is pretty cool. It's pretty sweet. Tirangini says, who'd say to start discussing your work in a positive note? Who'd say to start discussing your work in a positive note? Leave the negative self out. Change my view on it. Yeah, exactly. You gotta like the negative self-talk, man. It's not even because people talk about it like it's this thing of like, oh, be positive because being positive is good. It's like that's actually not necessarily it. It's like oh, there's a plane going by. Yeah, it's like are you actually being truthful? Like, is the negative self-talk truthful? And if it's not truthful, then you are surrounding yourself in lies, you know? And then you don't want to be surrounding yourself in lies because then how are you supposed to operate if you're operating from a place that's outside of truth, right? Arnold says, where's the Discord link? So right now the Discord is linked to Patreon. So it's like a very low buy-in, but the community was, you know, pretty clear that they wanted a more intimate space. So it's a Patreon Discord. And so it'll be really fun. So if you want to join the Discord, you can hop over and join my Patreon, link in description. Arnold, welcome. Hope you're doing well, by the way. But full disclaimer, like, the streams are still going to be free, still going to be public, and I'm still going to answer questions and stuff. It's going to be pretty much same. Same. But I put a section on the Discord that's basically like it's a section for like suggestions. So if someone wants to see like a certain theme or a topic discussed on the stream, then we'll include it and do like votes and polls. That'll be pretty fun. Man, this way of working is very nostalgic for me. I'm not going to lie. Arnold says, how do you manage your negative self-talk? That's a great question. It's a challenge, man. Like anybody else, it's a challenge for me. Negative self-talk. Oof. How do I manage it? I think that for me, I really rely on my highest goal and aspiration to work backwards from. So for me, my highest goal and aspiration is to create stories and work that leaves a lasting positive impact on the world. Like that's my highest goal and aspiration in my life, to be of service in that way. So hinging on that is everything that follows, right? So then it's like, if I'm then telling myself like, you know, oh, like I'm not technical enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. It's like, is that part of my goal? Is that part of my world, you know? And to then say, like, if I feel like I'm not technical enough, would being more technical assist in my goal? Like, how would it do that, right? And it does do, because sometimes I do get more technical, or I'll do a character that's a little bit more, you know, like, and this is still heavily stylized, but this is definitely more in the world of like representational than something like this. This is very, very stylized. So like walking between those worlds, you know, and even going more into realism, it's like, would that actually assist in my goal? And then if it does assist in my goal, then I'm like, okay, now I have an action plan. But now the conversation isn't, I'm not good. Now the conversation is like, you know, how am I going to help myself move towards my goal? And it's shifting the conversation. It's like managing self-talk. It's not like how to annihilate self-talk or disagree or prove yourself wrong. It's actually like, what is the real conversation that should be happening? That's like part of it. Solo says, can you tell how much time it takes to deliver a character design to a client, and what does it include? Like turnarounds, expressions, poses, splash, etc. Yeah, okay. So like that's, you know, you're going to hate the answer, but it is the truth. You know, it's a big old, it depends, right? So like that's, that's definitely, you know, it's a big old, it depends. But let's say I'm doing blue sky character design for a client, right? It depends on how wide they want to go. It depends on it basically, how much time does it take you? It takes me the time that I have, right? If they give me a day, I do it in a day. If they give me 3, I do it in 3. But it's like the process stretches or things get added or taken away depending on how much time I'm given. So like if I have to do turnarounds, like I need a day to do turnarounds at least, right? Because you're doing it technical, minute, and that's after design. So a character could take and it also depends on what you mean by character design. If it's a character design that's just like loose or just an idea, it could even just be a couple hours, right? For a design, like a character design is not one product. It's many things. But if they want like a really clean sheet of designs, then it's like, that's going to take some time, you know? Or how much iteration do they want? Do they want like a ton of iteration, not so much iteration? How much iteration do they want? You know, it's like a whole thing. But yeah, that it's a big old, it depends for sure. But the idea is that you want to be competent enough in your skill that you can deliver something good in the time that you're given, right? And you know what that time equals. So if someone's like, I need to design in 4 hours, you're not going to give them a finished character design sheet with like turnarounds. That's not what it is. It's like a page of sketches you're giving them, right? And they're loose, maybe, depending on how you work and what you do. But it's very much, you know, accordion, constricts and expands depending on how much time you get. But still a thing. Sorry, that was a long answer. But I know that troubles a lot of people, those kind of specifics, you know? Also, Michaela Striffler asks, what is your favorite way to start a character design? That's a great question. Honestly, my buddy, I got you, Solo. I got you anytime. Honestly, my favorite way to start a character design is with a vocation. Like, what is my character? What does my character do? Like, the character needs a vocation, in my opinion, right? Even if that's not doing anything, you know? But they need a vocation. That needs to be purpose. So starting a character design, starting with a purpose or with a story. What happens to the character? But I'm not just going to start drawing like pretty eyes. That's not a character design. That's a drawing. Because like, you know, I can draw and like do like, you know, like an edgy drawing, right? This is a very stylized, edgy Gabriel drawing right now. Very loose, like very like, ooh, this is like Gabriel noodle face that I draw a lot. You know, like that's just me drawing. So I'm not, but this is not how I'm going to start a character design. This is just me drawing for fun. But like starting a character design is definitely with vocation, like with purpose for sure. Oh my gosh. Let's go. All right. We got more people joining the Discord. Let's go. Hell yeah. Sick. Sick. Yeah, so we'll wrap these guys up before we call it. And then I'm actually going to hop in the Discord and do a little session in there of sketching for fun. Yeah, no worries. No worries, Michaela. Happy to talk about it for sure. Like even these characters, like the brief was scouts, right? So like that's what's giving me a lot of information. Like a scout is daring. A scout is adventurous. A scout has equipment. A scout is prepared. You know? A scout is, you know, Michaela asked, I know someone asked, but I missed where can we find the Discord link? So the Discord is actually tied to a Patreon right now. I think it's going to stay that way. Just like we want a really small, intimate community. So the Discord's not going to be public, and it's going to be tied to like a very, very small buy-in on Patreon. So that's going to be the plan. Yeah, to have like a very focused community. I just got pinged for like a thing, and oh, that's interesting. I just got a ping. Oh, but if you're looking for like a public Discord, like a good public Discord, I should link also like Lightbox as well, because Lightbox is a great Discord server. It has like a insane number of members though, but it's a really, really nice place. Great people. It's only a little bit cursed. Cool. Oh man. I mean, every public Discord is a little bit cursed because you never know who's going to join. But yeah, the public Discord or Lightbox is a great Discord. Let me see if I can get an invite link. Cool. Yeah, this is not my Patreon Discord, but this is the public Lightbox one, which is a great community. I moderate for them, so like I'm on there sometimes. Cool. But yes. Yeah, and the design, so for the Patreon Discord, I'm going to be doing character design challenges with people in there. And I'm going to be doing that probably twice a week. So, you know, if you want to learn by doing, it's a great opportunity. But then also, I'm probably going to end up hosting a couple public ones as well, and I'll probably be hosting them on the Lightbox one. So I want to make sure that like there's community available for people that are unable to contribute to the Patreon or who don't feel, you know, it's necessary. But yeah, hype. Let's go. So these guys are almost done. Wow, that was fast. Forgot how fun and quick this style is. I understand why comic artists work very simply now. Right? Do little plant guys, you know, fill out the space a little bit. Last but not least, we need the bird friend. Nice. All right. Cool. Look at that. Design done. Boom, baby. Boom. Power of simplicity. Back at it again. That was really fun. Oh my gosh. Adithya joined. Michael joined. Yeah, they're very wholesome. So these are my first like Patreon tier scout mascots. They look so wholesome. Oh my god. Michael and Colin sharing a brain. Sharing a brain. Bugsy also. Are you guys all on? Yeah, you guys are all on. I love you guys. You guys are great. Thanks for hopping in the chat. I greatly appreciate it. Let's go. Yeah, I'm soft launching the Patreon today. Just for people who just like want to contribute. Like no, there's no pressure. We are sharing half a brain cell. Yeah, I believe it. Adithya says, I missed a few of your recent streams. Any update on the Discord server? Yeah, so that's the point of this stream is so I did launch a Discord. It's still being built. It's still under construction. Very small, you know? And it's going to be like yeah, it's going to be very chill. But it's going to be linked to the Patreon. So the first tier for the Patreon is just going to be $3. And that's just going to be, you can just hop on the Discord community. I'm also going to be sharing all the PSDs and stuff, but really it's a way to support the stream. If you have value from the stream and learn, then you can contribute to the Patreon if you want to. But then there is going to be a Discord community that is also attached to that as well, which is cool. So we're going to be doing some cool stuff in there. It's going to be sick. Like it's going to be like I'm like hosting a space of learning, which is going to be cool. Nice. It's like very simple guys. Boom, boom, boom. Got them going. All right, let's do some color, baby. We love color. First things first. Flat out. Boom. Bugsy says, must be nice. I got a rock. Hell yeah. Man, do you guys know when like you're a kid and you find a rock on a beach? It's just like a really nice rock. Or like a rock by like a river in the forest. It's like a really nice rock. Man. I love that a lot. Like it's smooth in your hand, has like a cool pattern maybe, but not like cool enough to be like worth anything, but cool enough to find, you know? I love those rocks, man. Yeah, when they're all smooth. Exactly, Luke. Exactly. When they're all smooth, baby. Sick. Oh, Kelly's here. What up, Kelly? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'm going to have to start like having one of those, design like a border that has like Patreon and description on it. Like I'm going to have to become like a streamer, which I don't know how I feel about it. I just don't know. I guess I don't have to do anything. I guess I don't have to do that. Cool. Glad we got there together, guys. Yeah, so today we're working on these guys. Maybe next time, or I don't know when, but next time we'll work on the next tier mascot, which I think is going to be like a, I don't know, like a few. Abud Amen says, I really like the brush of the rough sketch. Let's go. Yeah, that was fun. I made that brush from scratch, baby. That was a fun brush to make. King Crow says, hi. What up, King Crow? Yeah, I'll make the brushes available at some point for people if they want the brushes. I'll do brushes in like a demo or something. I don't know. Solo says, I'm actually learning. Dude, let's go. I'm glad you're actually learning. That's sick. And Abud said, do you sell brushes? Not yet. I don't sell brushes yet, but I'll make them available. I'll make them available in the future. Cool. Yeah, these guys are fun. Oh yeah, if you want to see more of my work, you can find me on Instagram. The link is in the link tree in the description. I guess I should just actually like put it like in the description, right? Like as well as the link tree. I don't know. I'm still figuring this stuff out, man. Let's figure it out, baby. All right, let's chuck it in there. Boom. But yeah, I'm glad you like my art style, man. I really appreciate that. I like it too. It's really fun. All right, so the benefit of doing flats like this is now you can just do a little clipping mask. Just kind of do whatever, you know? Do whatever your heart desires. So I'm feeling like, I don't know why, but I'm feeling like a magenta vibe with these characters. Something magenta is going on here. I'm not 100% sure yet. Maybe a warmer rosy magenta. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure yet. Maybe magenta and blue is the vibe for these guys. I like putting characters in blue. Or, wait, what about green? Would green look good or bad? What about like a muted green? Ooh, that's kind of nice. That looks pretty good. Solo says, I'm switching from logo design to character design. I was making X amount. I'm very scared about making money with characters. Yeah, so like I generally don't give business advice. I'm not a guy who's out here making business advice or giving business advice to people. It's definitely not my strong suit, not an area that I've developed, and I am by no means an authority to give anyone business advice. What I will say is that making money doing character design is very hard. That's all I'll say. It's very hard. So to anyone looking to specialize or move into the world of character design, give yourself time. Give yourself time and Yeah. Very hard to make it happen overnight. Character design is a lot more than drawing characters. Which I hope everybody's been learning that since we've started the stream. Andrew says sky blue. We could try sky blue. There's no rules. We can try anything we want. We're allowed. That has a fun feeling too. It feels very like magical. It feels very adventure-y. All right, let's push with sky blue. Abud says, to animate stylized hands, do you have some tips to make it consistent and some tips for rough sketching the hand for animation? Okay, interesting. So I am not an animator myself. And the extent of my design is usually in the actual like narrative impact and implication of the character on a story. And like I will give designs for animation, like to someone for animation or for games or whatever it is that I'm working on. So I'm actually not, I don't think the best person to give you the answer to that, but I can point you in a great direction. Let me point you to a guy. So this guy, modern day James, he's a buddy of mine. He's great. This is his link for modern day James. He's a great guy, really great teacher too. Yeah. He like teaches animation for real. He's a great guy. He's got a great class and all that stuff, which is really cool. I'm in James's Discord. Let's go. HE says, this might be because of the hair and the bird, but they have an airish and free-spirited character to them, which I like a lot. That's exactly it. So like when you add a bird to a character or you add like big, like something spontaneous, something interesting, like it's going to have implications, and we love implying. That's like the whole point of designing character, in my opinion, the whole point. So yeah, like that air is like, that breezy feel is epic. We love it. We want to go for maybe a warmer tone on the skin, actually. Yeah. That feels nice. Sick. Dude, epic. Let's go. These are very Gabriel characters. Like from the costume to like what they're doing. I like the adventure character feeling of your illustration. Yeah, thanks, man. That's like a huge component of it for sure. Kelly says, I don't know if anyone has seen the Big Door Prize, but there is a character in that show. When I listen to James, I just see that kid. Oh, that's so funny. He is quite a character, isn't he? Oh my gosh. Solo sharing resources in the chat. Let's go. We love community sharing resources. Epic. Sweet. All right, so we're putting in these skin tones. These characters are starting to feel a little more alive now. The magenta is intense. And it's like, of course, we haven't finished blocking out the rest of the colors, but it's like so intense. Dude, these guys are so wholesome. Let's go. You know, they don't have to be totally unified. So I feel the colors working really well on the character to the left, but the one on the right, it's feeling a little, it's like struggling a little bit. Let's see if changing some of the base colors on him. We want it to have that cool leathery feel on this guy, I think. We're zooming out. We're figuring it out. Actually, you know, let's pause, because when you start to add color, you can kind of catch things that maybe don't feel right. Like, I think I actually want this guy's head to be a little farther down and actually like a little larger maybe. I want to give him some more purpose. Switch back to our line brush. Yeah, that like adds a lot more to the posture. But he's feeling a little less cool, I think. So let's see if we can like do some cool stuff here with this character while we're at it in the redesign. What time is it? 5? Okay. We got some time. Got a little bit of time before I got to hop off. Right? Because we wanted the character to be a little bit more grounded. Oh, Willow says, hi, not sure if you've shared this, but what is the story behind where you ended up today? How you came to do art and knew you wanted to do it as a career? Well, hello, Willow. Great to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Gosh, that's a big question. So I don't even know how to answer that question. My goodness. Art for me has always been a huge component of my life. Like huge. It's been a part of my identity forever. My mom is a singer-songwriter. My dad is an abstract painter. And my grandfather actually worked in the industry before it was even like an industry. Like he worked in publishing with Dr. Seuss, and then he got hired at Muppets to be like the creative director at Muppets. So like he designed a ton of the Muppets, which is super cool. Like there's like the first drawing of Fozzie Bear in, you know, his apartment when I visit him. It's like cool. I when I was younger, you know, my dad was an abstract painter and my grandfather worked in publishing, did a lot of stuff for children, and like I kind of tried to move away from both of those things as an artist because I always loved art and drawing and it was always around me. So like, which has its pros and cons, I'll tell you that much. But I tried to move away from that, so I drew a lot of stuff that was very serious, you know. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Star Wars. I was obsessed, and like Lord of the Rings, everything. I had like long hair, like Legolas. Like I loved that. I love fantasy. I love sci-fi. I loved everything. So cool to me. How I knew I wanted to do it as a career? Well, when I was younger, I'll give you the abridged version. I moved to Bermuda when I was 10 years old, and when I moved there, I didn't go to school for 4 years. And that's a longer conversation, but that's the fact. So because I didn't go to school for 4 years, I fell really behind. But I was drawing a lot, but like I didn't have any proper instruction or anything like that, but I was drawing a lot. And I took a cognitive ability test, and I got into a private school in Bermuda at like a year behind. And that was after like a summer of intense tutoring. Like I really wanted to go to schools. Like I really, really pushed for it. And like I tried to improve. But even when I went back to school, I felt very on the outside. Like nothing I could ever do would make up for the time I lost out of school. Like nothing I could do. No matter how much I studied, no matter how much I practiced. And I was missing a lot of foundational stuff. Like I was missing out on like, I didn't know grammar. I didn't know like how sequences in math worked. I'd never seen the periodic table. It was like, there's a lot of stuff that I just didn't have. So I found myself feeling a ton of shame. And I made that synonymous with like my character in many ways. So like, I was like, oh, I'm not a smart person. I'm not an academic person. I'm not this, I'm not that. I had so many rules for myself. The one thing I had on everybody else was that I was better at art than like everybody else. So it's the one thing I had. And there's something beautiful in that. And there's also something a little dangerous in that, because when you let something be your personality, especially something like art in this way, there's so many things that come along with that, right? You got Martin Bayes. Yo, welcome, dude. Welcome to the chat. I'm sharing a little bit of my story on how I came into art as a career. But I was around 15 when I was like starting to even think about my future. The only thing I had in my corner was art. But if you choose to be an artist at that age and that's like what you do, then you get every other social force like coming at you. So it's like, if you're an artist, you do drugs, right? But for me, I never touched a drug in my life. I've never drank in my life. I've never done drugs. I never will do drugs. I never will drink. So it's like, even within my own community of artists, it was like, there was stigma. There was like, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. It was like really weird. And then also, if you're an artist, you're not academic. So I let that stop me from developing my kind of like academic intellect more. I totally let that be a barrier. So like when I was 16, I started selling paintings, like art. Like I would paint, a beautiful painting of a tree, and I would sell it for like $80 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I was selling art. And I would, eventually do like cool ink drawings and like sell that to someone for like $200. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm selling art, Or like, I sold a big painting for about $1,000. That was my biggest art sell before I quit doing that. But I started selling art. And the thing is that I literally didn't think I had any other option than art. I had no other option. This is getting very personal, but you asked. So I had no other option, no other prospect, right? My grades in all other areas were severely lacking. So my senior year of high school, well, actually, let me also mention that after that year of private school, I got into a boarding school in Canada, and in the correct year. So I was able to reset and like get caught up. And the thing is that like by the end of high school, like I was a good writer, and I was like good at school, but I had it in my head that I wasn't. So I actually didn't try at anything, because rather than try and actually see my limitation and see myself fail, I just didn't do it. And I had the out of, well, artists don't do that. Artists don't study this. Artists don't read philosophy. Artists don't do this. Artists don't, learn math, for instance. So there's like a lot there. I'm getting very kind, sweet, warm messages from my beloved Isabel. Cool. Just being very supportive. Awesome. Yeah. So like there's a lot there. So for me, I had no other option. But here's the thing is that I found out I didn't like fine art. Fine art sucks. Because you got to like sell yourself to these people. And like, who's buying art? People with money. And like, people with money? Oh. I'm joking. That's a joke. I'm joking. But sometimes, a little bit, So it's like, I found myself becoming a caricature of my own being to justify the sale of my work. And I found myself being inauthentic about it. So now I only sell on, like, if people specifically ask. And I actually don't post personal art like that I do. Like I can show you one. I showed it before on stream. But like, I'll do paintings. Here, we'll do big image. Like I'll do paintings like this, And this is just for me. But I used to do stuff like that and I would sell it, for money, I guess. But I kind of was like, I'm a creative person. Thanks, Michael. I love Michael. King Crow said you should read Bluebird by Kurt Vonnegut. Oh, I should. Let me write that down. I'm going to write it on stream. so I remember it next time I open this file. Cool. Yeah, so that was then I was age, 16, 17, 18, like through those years I was doing that. I took up photography. I was an event photographer for a while. So I would shoot video, shoot photos, blah, blah, blah. I was really into that. That's how I got all my technical skill of equipment. That's why I'm streaming right now on like a good camera, and I'm like doing it pretty competently, is because I learned all those skills when I was young at that age. That's when I learned Photoshop too. I learned Photoshop at like 15, 16, started to learn it for photography. Not for art initially. I didn't even know concept art was a job back then, man. But yeah, that was around that time. So after that, gosh, what happened? What the heck happened? Oh yeah. So after high school, when I graduated, I took a year off, and I went to British Columbia and climbed mountains, and I went to go fix my relationship with my dad back in California. I went back to California when I was 18, did all that stuff. I had a out of body experience at a yurt temple. I just did a bunch of stuff, and then I went back to Canada where I went to boarding school, and I did community service for the rest of that year. Mario, unfortunately you are very late to the stream, but that's okay because we're still streaming. I'm telling a little bit of my life story right now around art specifically. Yeah, I'm going to be on for another, let's see what time it is. 5:18. Yeah, another 20-ish minutes. I got to finish the story first apparently. And I got to finish these guys. Oh yeah, so we fixed his expression. Let's go back to color. It's going to be wonky, so we got to fix it. But yeah, so after that, I took a year off, and then I kind of realized I was like, ooh, I should probably get a degree. But I'm like, what am I going to get a degree in? I have no idea what I want to do, So I did a bunch of research, and because I'm from Bermuda, I have a UK passport. So I decided to go to school in the UK because I didn't want to be literally $100,000 in debt in America. So I went to school in the UK. I did a 3-year degree at Norwich University of the Arts in illustration. I applied to one school. That was the school I applied to. I really wanted to go there. They had a great program, great faculty. At the time, faculty is very different now, I've heard. And it was a small city, so it was very walkable, very community driven. I had an incredible time there. So that's what I did for kind of post-secondary education. I went to the UK, studied illustration. Then after that, I graduated in 2020 into COVID, right? But when I was at university, I discovered my love of story, and I actually found a whole new appreciation for what my grandfather did in, working with the Muppets, working with Dr. Seuss, a huge appreciation for story, making content for young people, for kids. I really, really saw the value in it, and I saw the magic and the power in it. And I went back and looked at all the children's book I loved when I was a kid, and I looked back at so many things that I kind of turned my nose up at as I was, in my adolescent years, as we often do, kind of recentered back around. And I'm like, damn, maybe I want to do something like that. Who knows? So I wrote my dissertation on sequential art and comics. I got really into comics and sequential art. And so that was a huge, huge thing for me. It was discovering my love of story. And then I graduated in 2020. So instead of moving to London, England, and pursuing comics and storytelling and children's books, I was forced back to Bermuda to be in quarantine lockdown, where there's no industry there at all. And I didn't want to do the fine art thing because fine art was kind of lame. And to me, my best friend's dad is a very acclaimed fine artist, Sky Glabush. He's a really cool guy. He makes really cool art. So it's I love some fine art. I think that world can be very interesting. But for me, it was death over that, man. Good Lord. So yeah. And I wanted to reach people, man. I'd rather have a story reach 100,000 people if I can have a positive impact than have a painting hanging in a gallery or like, you know, in a rich guy's house one time maybe. But that also has its power, you know, so I don't want to shirk the power of that. And again, you know, unity and diversity, right? Like people's wants and motives and passions can have a positive impact in a way that maybe you don't feel drawn to, but it's still a positive impact. So even if we don't feel connected to things, it's important to appreciate. But yeah, so instead of that, I started working in a fine dining restaurant. You know, I kind of turned my brain off and just kind of did that. Oh, also prior, you know, for money in the past, like I had done like, you know, construction work. I had done like a lot of stuff. I was like painting interiors and did a lot of moving work, like a lot of labor, man. I think labor's good for everybody. But yeah, so that was an interesting process, kind of like adjusting to COVID time, COVID world. But yeah, man. So like, after that, I did Lightbox Online. So I saw the ads for Lightbox Online. I discovered, you know, Bobby Chiu and stuff like towards the end of my university career. And I was watching some of his videos, kind of learning about what Lightbox is. I was seeing like, you know, all the YouTubers being like, I'm at Lightbox interviewing professionals. And I'm like, oh, this sounds cool. I kind of maybe want to go there. And the only way I learned art my whole life was just through YouTube, like Ahmed Al-Duri, even Modern Day James. When I was in high school, Modern Day James started to come up. So like, you know, it's really interesting that like I'm buddies with him now. It's like weird. and Med too. I love Med. He's a really nice guy. But yeah, like back then, like, and Psychra, I don't know if you guys know Psychra, but that's a deep cut. But I just learned online. So, you know, I don't know. But yeah, so like, I was on YouTube and I saw ads for Lightbox, and I have studied 80% of Modern Day James's Gumroad. So good. Yeah, it's true, Solo. He's got great content, man. He's really great. But yeah, so like I did Lightbox Online. I figured out what visual development was. I didn't know it was a job really. And then I was, you know, no turning back. I was like, all right, let's do it. Oh yeah, and I also briefly worked at a startup for a while, which is really cool. I was like UX designer at a startup. That was interesting. But yeah, that's how I came to do art as a career. I discovered visual development and I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. Combines my love of story. It combines my love of design, combines my love of drawing, all together to just create wonder, man. It's so cool. It's the coolest job in the world, in my opinion. Really hard, but coolest job. King Crow says, I'm a UX designer. Let's go. Yeah, UX design, my experience with UX design was like, well, you know, let's look at this from the user perspective. How does the user feel at this point in the process? It was great. Super cool. Willow says, that's really interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, thanks for asking, man, you know? Yeah, no, of course. And like I can expand on some of that in the future. I definitely gave an overview, but that's kind of, you know, my life a little bit. Oh, nice, Kelly. King Crow's your husband. Epic. For real life. My husband for real life. That's so good. That's awesome. Dude, that's so good. That's epic. You guys are based marriage. That's sick. Hell yeah. I'm trying to be that personally. Trying to get there myself. Let's go. That's so cool. Very happy for you guys. Martin Baez says, what is the name for your job? Well, depends on what I'm doing. If I get contracted to do characters, then I'm a character designer. If I get contracted to do story work, I'm a story artist. But it all kind of falls under the umbrella of visual development and concept art. So if I'm working in game, it's like concept art and visual development. The only meaningful difference is the industry. So I do work for games and animation. I've done both. I prefer stuff for animation personally, but games is still really fun. Sam, welcome. We're closing up pretty soon, but welcome to the chat, buddy. Oh yeah, so after sharing that story, it's a great time to announce again on stream. Sorry for people who are watching this back and hear me talk about it nonstop, but so I'm soft launching the Patreon today. It's just gonna be like 3 tiers, not 3 tiers, 1 tier to start. It's just $3, and it's just a way to support the show and also join the Discord community that I'm starting, which is going to be the heavy focus on learning, heavy focus on like, supporting each other in a meaningful, positive way, and like improving ourselves and our craft at the same time. Like that's kind of the goal. Yeah. Let's see if we can, and the link is in the description. So yeah, it looks like this. If you guys want to join. Beep boop bop. Character design and story art. Wow, you can learn all that. Who would have thought? You can join the Scout tier for $3 a month. It includes Discord benefit. You can join the Discord. Very cool. And I'll also post all the artwork and PSDs from all the streams, so they're not just gone in the ether. You can look at them if you want. But there is a disclaimer here. The disclaimer says, I'm still setting things up, so if you join, please bear with me while I finish setting up the Discord and formatting this tier. So, yeah, if you guys want to join, it's a great time, in my opinion. But I'm a little biased. Sweet. Yeah, the Discord is going to start very, very intimate. It's only like a few people in right now, so it's going to be cool to start. I'm actually going to hop on there after the stream just to kind of poke around, do some more sketching for fun. But yeah, let's wrap these characters up, baby. Let's go. It was weirdly cathartic sharing my art journey here. I'm going to be honest. Like I actually feel weird sharing it sometimes, because it's like having people in my family that are from the art industry, sort of. But what's interesting is I talked to my grandfather, and he's been retired for years, so it's like I can't even like leverage him for industry connections. It's like, but yeah, also sharing the very embarrassing fact that I missed a lot of school, and I've had a chip on my shoulder about it for a while, and I'm embarrassed to tell people that. So it's very interesting saying that on stream, actually. And anybody who's joining now, you can go back and view that if you wish. But yeah, so gives me a little bit of justification in saying certain things that I say sometimes. Okay, I feel like this character's hair should be like fun. Not to say that brown hair isn't fun, but you know what I mean. Like, what if you make it like an orange color? That's kind of sick. Wait, that's sick. It's kind of Ghibli-esque, right? And then we make the kind of bands blue. Wait, let's go. This is cool. She's too cool. She's making our scout guy like not cool enough. You know what I mean? Maybe we make his hair blue and that makes him cool. Blue hair. Maybe. It's giving art school. That's for sure. Who is Kurt? No, Kurt Vonnegut is an author, and I was recommended the book Bluebird. which I will read. I just wrote it down here so I wouldn't lose it. Colin says, new Discord, let me in. Nab says, don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed of it at all. This is the part of where you are and who you are today. That's very true, man. It's very true. Give the baubles different colors. I could. That could be interesting. Tarangini says, your story is super interesting. Glad you shared. It's like the exact opposite of my own. That's so funny. Yeah, I get that a lot, actually. Marios says, any tips to let go of reference? Because to be honest, I'm kind of stuck. I'm still a beginner, and I feel like I can't do anything without reference. That's a good question. Oh, Salmon, you thought Kurt drew this? No, this is me. I drew this. I think. A drawing happened, and I was there. I participated in this drawing happening. That's what I'll say. Tips to let go of reference. Yeah, so that's a great question. I actually, use reference way less than anyone would expect. I barely use reference. I use reference like specifically at specific times, but I look at a lot of stuff. So it's just when I'm actively drawing, I'm not using as much reference. Okay, the blue hair is not the move. Definitely not the move, I don't think. No, it needs to be like a gray. Yeah, that's cool. He's got like a Sokka vibe a little bit. Oh my gosh. Yo, that's crazy. So Dom just said, my buddy Dom's in the chat. What up, Dom? He said, hey, Gabe, anything ever come of that Zella kids book thing? Yeah. So so this is so funny because as I was working on this, I was like, this is so a character I designed before. And it's true. It is. This is a follow-up or an expression of a character I designed back when I was fresh out of university, when I was way more trying to get into the world of children's literature. And I designed this character. Here, I'll pull it up. This character called Zella. So this was like, how many years ago is this? I was 20, like 3? Wait, it actually says 2021. This was in 2021. So I designed this character in 20. Wow, I've improved a lot. That's crazy. Wait, what? Wow. Big diff. But yeah, this is Zella, a fun children's book character that I was designing. She's cute. She had little friends that drank little water. She's like a happy little character. And then she had a friend, maybe, whose name is Ruben. He was cool. He's thinking about stuff. He's fixing stuff. He's thinking about stuff. He's up in a pole somewhere. But yeah, so like this character Zella definitely inspired this style of design that I have for sure. Like it's like kind of an archetype I go to sometimes. Like it's really fun. It's pretty fun time. Sam, Kelly says you've really improved a lot for real. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Let's go. And is that Mobius inspired? Oh yeah, Mobius is a huge influence of mine for sure. Huge influence. But going back to the question, Marios' question about ditching ref. So reference, like as you are in your art journey and you're a beginner, reference is great because it's exposing you to a lot of what's in the world. It's helping you figure out your method for working. It's helping you just understand how things work in the world. Like to draw is to understand the thing you're drawing. So if you don't understand what you're drawing, you need reference. But if you understand what you're drawing, then it's like, you need reference less. Reference can also be an aid in like influencing how you draw aesthetically, your aesthetic choices and like creative choices too. But it can also get in the way. For me, it's sometimes very stifling. Like I get very stiff when I use reference. But I mean, I used reference for my new icon, and that was interesting. It took me many tries to get it right, to get it feeling good, for sure. So like using reference is a challenge, but a worthy challenge, you know? I love the mob. By mob, I mean Mob Psycho and Mob Psycho 100 and Mobius. Yeah, yeah. That's true, Sandman. I've heard really great things about Mob Psycho. I haven't seen it. I'm catching up on the new Bleach. Oh, it's so good. Oh my gosh. Finally, we get a resolution for our boy Ichigo Kurosaki. Kurosaki Ichigo. Man, I won't spoiler anything. But that latest episode, oof. Sick. Epic. Truly epic. All right, so there has to be some continuity. Like maybe he has like blue trim. Dom says, have you watched any Zom 100? I don't know what that is. I don't know. Oh, let's go, Bugsy. Definitely check out the new Bleach. It's so good. Mario says, thanks. A lot of good advice on my way to understand. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, and it's good. Drawing from imagination is good because it shows you where you're missing like fundamentals, right? So don't be afraid of drawing from reference or drawing from imagination and getting it wrong. It shows you what you can learn, which is a huge benefit. Sandman says, I'm letting it pile up 5 episodes at a time. That's smart because, oh man, I want the next one. I want the next one. Very smart. So for the magenta color, I feel like I have to go a little lighter now for some reason, or a little warmer, a little more towards red. Just feels right to me. Not 100% sure why. And we'll do some accents on him too. So he's got a little bit of red, but not too much. But we'll give him some red on his kind of socks. Dom says, it's a great new anime series about a dude stuck in a dead-end job where there's a zombie apocalypse and he's just overjoyed that he no longer has to go to work. That's so funny. Man, people are dissatisfied with their careers, man. As well they should be. I remember working at a grocery store. And this is in Bermuda. And in Bermuda, the wages are inflated because the cost of living is like some of the highest in the world. So like working at this grocery store, I was making $20 an hour. And it was kind of like a very spontaneous thing. Like they needed extra help, like very like rapidly at an intense time. And so like I went to go help out and I was doing a lot of work for them. But what was so strange is that like when I was doing work for them, I would like try really hard because that's like what I had when I worked in construction. You had to work really hard and try really hard. So I would try really hard. I would get everything done and they'd be like, oh, okay, you're done. Like you can go home. And I was like, oh, because I was like a part-timer, right? You can go home. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I can go home. What was weird is that like I was working less hours because I was just getting it done. So I was getting paid less because I was fast. And I was like, what? What is this? Wait, it kind of clicked for me. I'm like, damn. And I'm looking at all the other coworkers and they're all moving at a snail's pace. And I remember being like, damn, like, this is so weird. Like, why is everyone going so slow? And I realized like, oh, if you want to get paid, then you literally have to work slowly. And that's when I knew it was time for me to change like my career. I was like, oh, I can't stay here. Like, I can't. No. I could just feel it, man. I could just feel it. It's like, no. And the politics, ugh, gross. All right, so actually, I'm thinking maybe he's an orange guy. Because we've already gone so primary, we kind of have to continue with the primaries, you know? We just simply have to. And the quiver definitely needs some splashes of color. Oh, dude, Dom? Yeah, Dom's a sick artist. Wait, let me put Dom. Let me put Dom's link. Boom. Dude, Dom is some of the only art I have in my room. Wait, I'll show it. Look how cool this is. It's so cool. Isn't that sick? It's such a sick piece of artwork. I love it. The second I saw it, I was like, I'm buying that, which is weird because I don't buy art. So it was like, I was like, I'm buying that. And he was like, okay. Yeah, go follow Dom, dude. Commission Dom to make a cool piece of artwork for you. Yeah, Dom and I were desk buddies at university. He was like across from me, and it was great because it would be like my setup, and I'd be doing like stuff on my iPad or like watercolors or whatever, and I'd look over at Dom's desk, and it would be like 50 sheets of like Letraset pages, and he's like, you know, making an obscure like punk rock poster for like a gig, and I'm like, oh geez. You're getting shouted at anyway, buddy. It's what's happening here, Dom. Dom is like, I didn't come here just to get shout outs. Don't worry, dude. You'll always get shouted out on my stream. Maybe we make him red. I'm having a difficult time making this character like really pop. Or feel like in unity. Maybe we just mirror. Maybe we just literally do what we did before. Just do blue. I think that'll have to do, friends. Yeah, that works. That looks good. Like a little bit of yellow for fun. Man, primary colors are so fun to design with. They're so joyful and like neutral, and they always go well together. Primaries always go well. Sick. Ryoma says, cute characters, yo. Thanks for hopping on, Ryoma. We got to do all the shout outs now. Dude, Ryoma's in the chat. Ryoma's the homie. Ryoma's one of the... I've had like the most fun working on a project, working with Ryoma. Oh, it was Blue Beard. Let me fix it. I'm going to write it in blue. Blue Beard. Epic. I mean, I'm sure I would have found it anyway. HG says, since these characters are so colorful, how does the flora in the world look like? Is it that saturated too, so they blend in? You know, HG, now you're thinking like a designer. And I love that you said that, because yes, if they are scouts and they need to like blend in, then the world is obviously very vibrant for them to blend in with these colors. I love that thinking. That's great thinking. And you said it before I needed to say it, which was sick. So heck yes, let's go. Oh, Dom says, love you, Gabe. Thanks for the support. Love you too, buddy. I miss you, man. I got to come out and visit Norwich again. Ryoma said, what is this for? These are the mascots for my lowest Patreon tier, the Scout tier, which grants you access to my little Discord community where we're going to do some character design challenges and some studio hours. So it's going to be fun. But yeah, these guys are for the that initial first tier, which will be sick. And then Tom says, Gabe has always been the biggest hype man ever. Absolute pure ball of positivity. Okay, well, that's good. That's testimony right there. Andrew Larkin says, make the pants and top different. We could try that. Sandman said, I was going to suggest do yellow and green, but this is great. Yellow and green can be cool too, but there's something about primaries, man. Primaries is fun. If we do yellow and green, we're just Brazil. It's Brazil. Which is, which is no shame. Brazil is awesome. All right, I'm actually going to put my latest favorite song in the chat right now by a Brazilian guy from Rio. Dude, some of the best character designers I know are all in Brazil. There's something about Brazil right now. All the concept artists from Brazil are like so good. It's crazy. Yellow and green, that's Norwich colors. Oh, is it actually? Wait, both Brazil and Norwich. All right. We'll try yellow and green. We can do whatever we want. We can try anything. So we'll pause on this color. We'll go on top. We'll drop a nice rich green. Ooh, it's a juicy green right there. And we want a yellow, but we don't want it to be like, if we do like a yellow, it'll be like, so we're going to do it ambery yellow. I didn't know that was Norwich colors. That's awesome. Oh, we got Rioma's page up. Let's go. All right, so then we choose where we want the yellow. So there's an argument for just yellow being on the trim. Yeah, in the past stream, we've talked a lot about how color can change and impact the narrative implication of like a character, which is cool. So we're kind of seeing that now here as well. We got to wrap this up. I got to go. Okay. We're going to stick with yellow and green. We're going to write it all the way out. Sandman says, Adam, that was an awesome mech in your Instagram. I doodle robots. Can see you're really good at it. Dude, Riam is an epic mech designer. Adam said, but this guy Gabriel's a fantastic narrative designer. Epic, dude. Let's go. Together we're unstoppable, Adam. Dude, we kind of were. All right, I'm feeling this. Green and yellow. It's very royal in like a good way. Also very like neutrally. It's fun. Oh, dude, yeah. It's true. Gotta collab again, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right, do we make the binoculars gray? No, we make them like brass, right? A hint of purple and red will be great too, says Salman. Dude, maybe. Maria says, just like the dragon you colored in 3 ways, also yellow and green. Exactly. Yes. Yes. It's true. We can do like fun spot color, like the hilt of the sword, and maybe the feathers of the bow. Make him a cool purple color. That's cool. Handle of the bow. Boom, continuity. There we go. Look at that. Powerful. Last thing we need to do is distinguish the feet a little bit. So we can add the purple here too. That's fun. Give it like a feeling of like a uniform. All right, now they're unified. They're feeling good. Dude, let's go. This feels sick. Nice. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, guys. I think this is pretty much wrapped up. The only thing left to do is just like a very, very simple layer on top of just like, you know, applying a little bit of light. But I'll clean this up off stream for sure. Sandman says, some people don't think purple can work in military-looking clothes, but purple is actually common in springtime. Yeah. Yeah, no, purple's fine. Purple's sick. I mean, like a modern military? Maybe not. All right, we'll also give a purple belt because that's like a cool... We're doing like a cloth motif for the purple, so... Oh, these characters are sick now. Let's go. Epic. Wow. All right, guys, this was so fun. Sometimes to unify things, I'll just do like a little bit of like a... Just like a smidge of color burn. I'll turn it way down. Like sometimes it pulls things together. We'll also do a little noise layer. We'll just rip that from here though. The crunchiness of noise really helps in my experience. Oh wait, we need this. Not sure what that is she's got on her pack, but it's cool. It's a cool shape. I mean, we could cut it actually. How does that look? Better silhouette? Yes. Okay, we'll cut it. Boom. Easy. Easy money. Sometimes you just got to cut stuff. All right, guys. This has been so fun. Epic. Thanks for the great questions. Oh, yeah. We could do a uniform for each season. So if we cut the green, we kind of go back. It's like the old design. Both are cool. It's interesting, right? Cool. We can talk about that more. Oh, wait, the bird. We'll do the bird later. Nah, I'll make the bird the same color as, like, her hair. That'll be fun. Now that's a cool design. Dude, I'm so glad you were drawing the whole time, Mojo. That's sick. Guys, as always, what an absolute pleasure to draw with everybody, you know, share some thoughts, share some reflections. Thank you for being so gracious and listening to my art journey story. That was really fun. I'm sure it won't be the first, won't be the last, it won't be the last time I tell that story on stream. But yeah, guys, it's been really fun. I hope you learned a little bit. This one wasn't super. This was more just about finishing, actually, not necessarily about design. So we actually finished something on stream for once, which is good. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna be hopping on the Patreon Discord for a minute. I don't know. I don't think anyone will join, but I'll just be there for a little while. Thank you guys so much for joining. Once again, if you want to join the Patreon Discord, it's in the description. It's still under construction, so bear that in mind. But yeah, we'll see. But dude, much love, guys. Yeah, I'll try to move the streams a little bit earlier, Mario. So we'll see. But yeah, you guys are great. All right, let's do our little outro moment. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are watching this live, you're the best. Thanks for being here. It's been really fun talking to you. If you're watching this back in a recording, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to like the video. And if you want to catch one live, you can turn on notifications. I'm setting up a channel on Instagram that'll ping you when I go live. So you can follow me and you'll get an invite to that. Yeah, this has been really fun. You guys are great. And I will definitely catch you on the next one. The next stream is in 2 days. So Thursday, Friday, I'll be streaming. And yeah, you guys are the best. Peace.